sunshine. I'll be your love. I'll be your sunshine. I'll be your love. I'll be your sunshine. I'll be your love. I'll be your love. I'll be your sunshine. You see the sea. I'll see the sunshine. I'll be your love. I'll be your sunshine. Shine, shine.
We've got a revenge match on tap at the Winsport Event Center as the Winnipeg CEBL face the Calgary Surge. After starting the season 0-10, the Surge are living up to their name with 3 consecutive wins over Western Conference opponents, including Winnipeg. Armani Chaney is the target time winner against his former club to hand the Teal Titans their first home loss of the season. But the Western Conference leaders are riding high after locking up a playoff berth earlier this week, so they're running a very different race than Calgary. I'm Cappy Kepke on the sidelines, joined by the voices of the Surge, Mitch Peacock and Jamaica. Guys, we do have some playoff implications tonight. A Calgary loss would see the Vancouver Bandits qualify for the playoffs. So while the margins are slim for Calgary, the window is still there.
Certainly is, Cammy. It's been a fascinating last month for this Calgary Surge team. You get a coaching change, you get some personnel change, you get some time in the gym for practice, and you get a team now that's won 4 of its last 7 games, has won 3 consecutive, and now they're thinking a little bit, they're not talking about it, but they're thinking a little bit about the playoffs. Somehow they've got off the mat. How have they done it?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you how they've done it, Mitch. As Dave DeViro said, about a month or so ago, all it takes is a little bit of time and some buy-in. And you're seeing that buy-in where? On the defensive side of the floor. And that's where Dave DeViro makes his bread. And that same dogged energy that, frankly, the Calgary Surge have been missing through the first 10 games of the season are the reason why they're going on this hot streak currently, Mitch. And we're going to see if they continue it here tonight. You love how they're playing on the defense.
Last 4 games, they've had a real intensity to that defense, as you touched on. And this is a team that's holding the opposition to less than 40% shooting per game over the last 4. That's the kind of number that can get you some victories.
Most certainly it is. And when you're going up against a squad that can shoot the ball as well as this Winnipeg CEBL team can, that same defense, especially on the perimeter, is going to be something that the Calgary Surge are going to highlight here tonight. We're going to see if they're able to lock it down.
Get to the matchup stats now and take a look at some of the numbers for these two teams. You take a look at the Winnipeg CEBL. Well, those numbers are outstanding. They are among the league leaders in just about every significant category. The Calgary Surge, well, those numbers are still lagging in terms of the overall picture, but they've been bumping up in a number of areas because of their improved play of late.
Yeah, none more than that three-point percentage. Finally in the 30s now are the Calgary Surge. And granted, you look around the league and it is on the lower end, but for this Calgary Surge team to finally make it to that 30% threshold from 3, you love the trajectory they're on, Mitch. The three-point shooting is next level offensively right now, and it's another big reason why they're on this hot streak.
We'll be watching for that tonight. For more on the matchup, let's go to Cami Kempke with the interim head coach, Dave DeViro.
Well, Dave, in recent weeks, the Surge have looked like a very different team, not just from, the players, but the style of play and the energy. What's helped this group find its groove, and how do you continue that tonight?
I think our defense, I thought in the last couple of games we were really defending well. And then on offense, we're really sharing the ball and getting into transition where we can get some easy buckets.
I know you want the guys to focus on the game tonight, but every match has playoff implications now. How do you kind of balance playing with nothing to lose with playing the team system and being structured?
We don't really talk about playoffs and the importance of each game. We just, we go out, try to be who we are, our identity now, and just try to focus on that. And I think if we do that, we have a chance to be successful.
You've had some key players getting a rest at practice this week, and it's allowed other guys to try out different positions. Have you been able to kind of discover some new tools at your disposal through that?
Yeah, it was fun. That practice was really fun, trying guys and trying different things. So we may try some of those things that we did in practice this week.
Looking forward to seeing it. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Mitch and Jermaine have more around the corner. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL.
Instant hydration.
Now, the 2020 season continues.
Back to the Winsport Event Center in Calgary, getting you set for the Calgary Surge. Winnipeg CEBL tonight, fourth and final meeting of the regular season between these two teams. Winnipeg's got a 2-1 lead in the season series, but the Surge won the last game between the sides, and they're feeling good coming in. Let's take a look at the keys to this one, brought to you by CDIC, and we start with those CEBL.
The CEBL tonight shouldn't be afraid to play some physical defense. Calgary's got some ugly free throw shooting numbers, specifically in the last game against Winnipeg, 7 for 21. So if you're Winnipeg, be a little heavy-handed tonight, play some physical defense, and don't be afraid to send them to the line. Second up, access denied outside with the Surge's newfound proficiency. From outside, blocking down the perimeter has got to be a priority. Rotate on time, fight over screens, do whatever it takes to prevent long-range looks. And finally, plant some playoff seeds. Winnipeg can't gear down here tonight just because they've clinched a playoff spot. Bad tendencies can be formed with house-winning games like this, so they've got to remain locked in and get the job done here tonight.
You know they are focused on wrapping up that #1 spot in the West. Also, the keys tonight for the Calgary Surge to get to, and they are presented by CDIC as well.
Oh, elephant in the room. Address me, it says. Those free throws. 23 of 49 here over the last 3 games in this winning streak for Calgary. It's got to go up, flat out. Get better at the free throw line. Second up, everybody's able to set the table. Ball handling and facilitating from some unorthodox sources make the game a breeze right now and really free things up offensively. And finally, coach's approach. Great malleability from the Calgary coaching staff over the last few games. Crisp ATO plays and offensive exposures let you know that the coaching staff is locked in right now. And like Dave DeViro said right before break, he's got a couple extra tools to work with, and we'll see if he brings those out here tonight.
Experienced coaching staff, and they are putting their imprint all over this improved Calgary Surge team. Here are the starting lineups for tonight's game, and if you're familiar with these two teams, what you'll notice right away is that there are no changes. This is the same starting lineup for Winnipeg for a 3rd straight game, the same starting lineup for Calgary for a 5th straight game, and I think that continuity has been very important for the Surge.
It most certainly has. You're building up a nice little continuity, like you said, Mitch, with the teammates, with everyone on the floor as well, and you get used to who's starting the game out. Granted, it really matters who finishes the game, but starting the game out as well, with those finishing, great spot.
Armani Chaney, the former Winnipeg CEBL, with the target score winner in the game at Canada Life Center in Winnipeg on the weekend. He's excited to play against his former team once again. He's handled that situation very, very well. In fact, Dave DeViro told me earlier in the week he took some time to sit with Armani and talk to him about how well he handled going up against a former team. You love that maturity in your point guard. Let's move along to the players to watch, and for the Winnipeg CEBL, we're focused on Jeremiah Tillman Jr. tonight. The big man can make a big difference.
Some call him Jay Tilly, others call him the last trench baby, but you can call him Mr. 500. 500 career CEBL points a couple days ago in Saskatoon for Jeremiah Tillman. And since we're talking accolades, why don't we go through some more here? 50 blocks as a career for Jeremiah Tillman as well, but most importantly, how about smashing that Winnipeg single-season record block level with 25 to this point and counting? Jeremiah Tillman gives you that solid presence on the inside that I feel makes him one of the most exciting players to watch in the league this year.
He is a guy to watch. He is fun to watch, and he is a central part of the success for Mike Rainbow's Winnipeg CEBL. Let's get to David Joplin now, our focus on the Calgary Surge side. One of the newcomers, one of the guys that's really come in and be able to help raise the level of this team.
Most certainly. Only joined the league 17 days ago, did David Joplin, but you couldn't tell that by the way he plays. How about these numbers? Come on now, Mitch. We're talking about 19-4 in Vancouver with the win on July 9th, 16-6 last game against Winnipeg, and like you said, really melding into this role very well. Mitch, you know he's the 2023 Big East 6-Man Player of the Year, but don't let that fool you. He is starting here in the CEBL and has earned that spot here tonight.
This is a guy who can score. This is a guy who can defend. This is a guy who has worked his way into the starting lineup with this Calgary team, and we are set to go in a critical game for both of these teams, the CEBL and the Surge for top spot, and home court advantage through the couple of opening rounds of the playoffs at least. And in terms of the Calgary Surge, well, they're trying to win a 4th consecutive game and see if they can continue this revival. They are starting to inch their way off the map. They want to come all the way back down the stretch and get into the playoffs again. Tip-off tonight, as ever, is brought to you by Spalding. Spalding is the official game ball of the CEBL. Teal for the guests, black for the home side, and we are underway at Winsport Event Center. Teddy Allen, the league's leading scorer inside. Trey McGowan's got moving and got the scoring started.
Perfect way to start out the game right there. Get the ball into the hands of Allen and let him decide whether to take it or facilitate. Another example of Teddy Allen's growth here in the league, getting in the system really young.
Armani Cheney inside. Adonis Arms looking strong. Window and good. Adonis Arms, the tough day at the free throw line last time around. He put a lot of extra work in during the week. And he is confident he'll be back to his usual ways. He was up over 80% from the stripe heading into the last contest. Here's Acott going to work, the captain of the Sea Bears, trying to set a tone early on. Cheney in a battle ends up in control. Gets it to Joplin. McGowan's watching Cheney. Brown comes up, sets the screen. Cheney takes it, slings it for Joplin, who thought about it. Gets busy against Acott, up and over. It's a tough shot on the end. A good defensive possession for Winnipeg. Acott to the inside. Osborne up over 14 a game. Possession for Teddy Allen. Inside Tillman Jr.
Perfect.
Yeah, that worked out very nicely for the Sea Bears. You're going to see the connection between the players.
Most certainly, and once again, that's Teddy Allen facilitating. Little phantom screen from Jeremiah Tillman, who gets to the basket as Teddy Allen drew the two defenders, and that is nothing but the front of the rim.
Teddy Allen making a difference in a variety of ways at the offensive end, and people talking about his defense this season as well. He has really shown an impressive two-way game in the first 3 quarters of this season. Your officials for this one, Riley Carrison is the crew chief. The umpires are Josh Carruthers and Joe Lamb. There's a look at Riley Carrison, chief of the crew for this one, keeping the peace. Javante Brown for Adonis Arms. Arms going to work against Allen. Arms again off the glass and scoring.
You like that from Adonis Arms. 2 consecutive takes into the teeth of the defense, going chest to chest there with Jeremiah Tillman. Not easy.
Back the other way, a quick strike from the Sea Bears. These teams have come out focused. Cheney gets into the lane, backs it up, settles it a bit. Now looking for 3. Adonis Arms, too strong, picked up by Joplin, who read it well, and he'll score.
And now you see the benefit of having a guy like David Joplin crash the offensive glass. Get real thin, slide up under a defender, pick up that loose ball, and get you a little offensive rebound bucket.
16 and 6 for Joplin last time out as Acott takes it to the rim with authority. Winnipeg does not like losing. They especially do not like losing at home. You know, they'll have a little burr in the saddle for this one. Surge playing at Winsport for the first time in a month. No, they will be tested here. Standings are no accident. The Sea Bears at 12 and 6 for a reason, 7 and 1 at home. That one doesn't fall, and Javante Brown gets himself in position to get it back for Calgary. Joplin straight away on the move again, trying to get to the inside. We've seen this from Calgary early on, but turned away that time. And McGowan says Cheney on skates and will score in style.
Look, there goes T-Mac. Trey McGowan on the move right there, clearing out some defense, getting to the front of the rim, up and down with it. Okay, Trey, I see you.
And he was very impressive in the previous visit by Winnipeg this season here, Trey McGowan's, and off to a shining start this time. Cheney up top. He was trying to get it to Brown. Brown was bumped into, and the officials were right on top of it.
Yeah, and you knew it was just a matter of time before Calgary on offense right there ran a little 2-man game involving Javante Brown. And if he didn't get tripped up, you know that was an easy 2 right there. So if you're Winnipeg, you've got to watch that slip.
Addy Patterson checking in. David Joplin will sit down. Coming into the action for Winnipeg, DJ Burns, as Tillman makes his way to the bench for a moment. This Western Conference affair is brought to you by Cal Tire. Cal Tire, presenting sponsor of Western Conference play. Cheney across for Arms. Arms looking for 3, finds back iron instead. And the Sea Bears look to add to their 5-point advantage. Winnipeg at 5 and 5 on the road, but they won the last 2 on their travels, including Wednesday in Saskatoon. Empty trip that time. Cheney gets it ahead quickly. Rugsy Miller-Moore into the action as he gets his first chance to score and makes it count.
Won't count as a transition bucket, but same difference nonetheless. Great leak out there by Rugsy Miller-Moore. He was able to get to the restricted area and get him an easy push shot too.
Osborne looks to his right, calls his own number. That one's a little bit short, and Arms is quick to it. Arms pushing the pace, backing up the defense. Gets it to Ruggsy. Ruggsy's on the move. Miller Moore will score.
There it is. And now this is the Calgary Surge basketball you're used to seeing. Attack, attack, attack. Whether it's in transition or in the half court, regardless, get to the front of the rim and make things happen.
Ruggsy leading the team in scoring, 17 and change a game. Started the night 14 points, from second all-time in CEBL points, regular season and playoffs. Burns surrounded. Gets it back to the outside. And then McGowan's, and it coming together, draws the whistle. Block is called. It looks like side of the bounds.
That it will. It could be a timeout before then.
Yeah, we do have a timeout now on the floor, just past the midway mark of the opening quarter. Sea-Bears 11 and Surge 10, off to a good start in Calgary. Stay with us. You're watching CEBL basketball. It's live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. To Calgary and the Winsport Event Center. Calgary Surge, Winnipeg Sea-Bears nicely settled into this one. The Sea-Bears with a 1-point advantage. The Surge climbing back to tighten a gap that was stretched out to 5 early on, but these two teams playing with a purpose here today.
That they are. And Calgary, despite being down 1, you see 10 points on the board. How about this? 10 points in the paint as well. The move here is simple. It's laid out here for the Calgary Surge. They're going to put some pressure on that Winnipeg defense. Now, to this point, Winnipeg has done a good job of making sure to counterpunch on the other end. But Calgary, if they can continue getting inside, maybe wear up that defense inside, maybe rack up some fouls as well. I like the move here from Dave DeVero early on.
They had an advantage in the paint at Canada Life Center in the win when they faced off against Winnipeg back on Sunday. And they're going right back to it. Work for them. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Back underway. Teddy Allen. Watched there by Miller Moore. Back up top. Slot shot from Osborne doesn't fall. Ruggsy on for Cheney. Cheney pulls up looking for the 3. And Osborne starts the action back the other way into the game. Jelani Watson-Gale. Recent pickup for Winnipeg, but a familiar face. CBL's 6th man of the year in 2023, and he makes his presence felt early on.
That he does. If you paid attention in 2023, you remember Jelani Watson-Gale and what he was able to do. The closer, if you will, for this Winnipeg squad, and you know they're happy to have him back.
Averaged nearly 14 points a game playing in Bulgaria before making his way back to the Manitoba capital. Here's Arms, strong on the baseline, finds Javonte Brown, who gets up against the defense, and he'll go to the line.
Well, another game, another and one opportunity for Javonte Brown, who once again throws that anchor out, gets settled on the block, and makes sure to get a good look while getting touched up, and a chance for a 3-point play.
Javonte Brown having an outstanding second season in the CEBL, 12.2 points a game, 8.8 rebounds a game, 1.6 blocks per game in the month of July alone. And he has had 6 double-doubles this season. Scan the QR code for your chance to win the ultimate CEBL Finals trip, courtesy of redtag.ca. You could score round-trip flights, a 2-night hotel stay, and courtside seats to the CEBL Finals. Visit cebl.ca/redtag for more details. Watson-Gale skips it across. Osborne driving was denied by Javonte Brown. Brown thought he got the job done, but instead a whistle goes against him.
Yeah, tough break right there for Javonte Brown, who says my hands were straight up, but it's the body contact that Riley Carrison saw and blew the whistle on. And we like that here from Isaiah Osborne as well, who's gotten a few looks from range, 0 for 3 right now. So if it's not working for you from outside, man, put it on the deck. Get to the basket. Make it a little easier on yourself. And now he's trying to say he was shooting, but they're trying to say it's not a shooting foul, which is an interesting decision.
Oh, on the floor, baseline out of bounds. They get it back in and get it to Teddy Allen. Allen goes off with Comba, and they'll try that again. Boy, this Winnipeg team, we talked off the top when we looked at the matchup stats about how their numbers in just about every category are near the top. They're impressive with that 12-6 record. Their plus-minus this season is 9.3. I mean, they have been taking care of some teams.
They have. You already know how tough they are to play at home, but been impressed with the way they played on the road. A couple days ago in Saskatoon, big time win for them, much needed.
And I heard in a couple interviews the CBears players talking about not being happy with their play on the road. Not a lot of teams say that when they're 5-5 and have won 2 in a row. There's a foul as Marlon Johnson is involved in it coming together. Marlon's going to be very important for the Surge. He always is, but especially right now in the absence of Callum Swanton-Rogers out with a broken nose.
Yeah, a little light on the inside of the Calgary Surge. And Marlon Johnson, if you know his game, he's a face-up guy, likes to pick and pop, but he's going to be asked tonight to do a little heavy lifting on the interior against guys like Hildebrand and Jeremiah Tillman when he gets back in the game.
Burns steps up to the free throw line, 17-6 in Saskatoon. He did that in just a little more than 12 minutes.
Oh, so efficient, DJ Burns. Seems like as the season moves on, he becomes more and more an offensive threat. You see the all-around game he brings to Winnipeg every single night.
Just seems to have that attitude of whenever you call me coach, I'm going to give you something, so you just let me know when you need me.
I love that.
Takes care of a couple at the line. He'll take a seat. Hildebrand, Watson, Gale, Aycott, Tillman Jr., and Allen for the CBears as Patterson takes it for Calgary. Gives to Matthew Comba. Comba from long range. That looks good.
Good sign for Matthew Comba when his first shot of the day drops, especially off his own dribble move right there.
Watson Gale stepping back looking for 3. That one's off the mark. Allen comes up with it. Teddy turning, considering options. Goes to Hildebrand. Watson Gale waiting for a little help. Got it from Tillman. Now gets it inside for Tillman. They're on the same wavelength. And the foul is called. Allen against Ruggsy Miller-Moore.
Up right now. You see Dave DeViro wanting an explanation, saying that was not on the shooting motion. And Riley Carrison's going to go over there and break it down and say, yes, Dave, as a matter of fact, it was.
Explanation from Riley, nod of the head from Dave. Cal Tire, proud partner, tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands, have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com. Doesn't drop. The fans like that. They are into it here. Locked in as well at Winsport Event Center. First game here for Calgary in a month. Matty Patterson, Marlon Johnson considered it. Johnson stepping back now, will take it. Didn't fall for 1 point CBears advantage. Coming up on 2.5 to go in the opening quarter. CBears dominated the first 2 meetings between the teams. There's some domination down low from the big man Tillman Jr.
And that's the matchup we were just talking about here a couple minutes. It's going to be up to Marlon Johnson Jr. to go up against guys like Jeremiah Tillman and understand that Tillman is trying to find you and take it to you every single time.
Ruggsy Miller-Moore calling his own number, looking for a little early offense in that possession. CBears get it back. McGowan's in the corner, slot shot from Aycott. Doesn't get the bounce, and Comba comes up with it. He's bumped into as the transition gets messed up. And the foul is against Tillman Jr. Calgary coming in with 3 consecutive wins, not just any wins. They won in Vancouver. They won at the Saddledome against Vancouver to take back-to-back from the Bandits, and then got it done in Winnipeg on Sunday. That's some plan, and the Surge come in with a little swagger as a result, but they know it's hard work that's got them this window of opportunity to get back in the playoff mix. Here goes Sin Carey, and that's pretty.
And you love that. Come on, Sin Carey is a guy we all know loves to pass first, set guys up. But if the defense is going to part like the Red Sea, go ahead and get you a little lefty lay, Sin. Great job.
McGowan's back the other way. Aycock driving. McGowan's. Watson Gale working against Carey. A good matchup there. Getting deep in the clock now. Got to happen from Osborne. It doesn't. Carey picks it up and he's on the move. Carey. Joplin for three. That one will be Sea-Bears basketball as it caught the iron and took a bounce that Winnipeg could deal with. They're going to get a chance to put it back into play.
And a tough break there for Calgary on the move, especially when you got numbers, but 10 times out of 10, you're going to take that shot, especially a guy like David Joplin stepping into a wide open three. That's something you definitely trust him to make more times than not.
Both teams a little cool from beyond the arc early on. Both teams definitely capable of heating up. That one got deflected on the way. Good alert defending. Now Comba Patterson for the easy finish. And that's team play.
Come on, man. A little 2-on-1 on the move as Patterson and Comba play hot potato with that thing and let AP finish on that move.
Up top here, looking for help from Tillman Jr. More of a hope play than an expectation. And the Surge get it back. They've got a 1-point lead in the last minute of the opening 10. Marlon Johnson working against Aycock. Back out for Comba. Yes, sir.
Okay, it's one of those games, huh? That's how you feel, Matthew Comba, 2 for 2 from range. First time uncontested, this time with a hand in the face, same result. That's 3 more points for MK.
Matthew Comba, outstanding veteran of this league. A massive addition to the club after his season in Spain. Lots of room and time there for a guy who knows what to do with that. And striking as you'd expect is Teddy Allen. Last possession here in the quarter. Surge by 1. Carey organizing. Johnson comes over, tries to set the screen. Carey on the move, will put the shot up. And does he get the bounce? Not this time, but the Surge find a way to complete the opening 10 minutes with a 1-point advantage against this first place Sea-Bears team. We're going to pause and come back with second quarter action from Calgary. Stick around, a good one underway. You're watching the CEBL live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Welcome back to Winsport. The Surge up 23-22. I'm joined by former national team member and longtime coach Ken Larson. Ken, you've been around the CEBL a lot, the game a lot. We've seen some insane shooting during the games, just during the breaks tonight. Where do you feel about where the game is at in Canada right now?
I just think the team's playing so well since they made some change in the coaching ranks, and they made a couple of trades, brought a couple guys back from last year's team. I think they're doing really well. They've got good chemistry.
Steve Konchalski is so special to the Surge. He's a senior advisor, but he also coached you with the national team. What memories stick with you most from your time with Coach K, and how did that impact your life?
Yeah, it's kind of bittersweet because 12 guys got to go to the '84 Olympics, and I was the 13th man. So Coach K had the tough job of telling me I couldn't go.
How do you come back from that?
Well, exactly, but he's still a huge inspiration to me by the way he treated me, not what he did to me.
And I understand you have a very cool connection with another Canadian icon in Terry Fox going back to your university days.
Yeah, my first year, Simon Fraser, Terry was in his second year. He had lost his leg due to cancer. It turns out we were all in the same classes together. So I would swing by his house, pick him up in his wheelchair, and go up to Simon Fraser. We'd shoot hoops, him in his chair and me on my feet, and we became good friends.
How was his shot?
Well, actually, it was really good. You can't shoot a ball from sitting in a chair, but he could.
Unbelievable. Thank you so much for this, Matt. I know we had time for a couple questions. I wish I could ask you 1,000 more.
Thank you so much.
Ken Larson, everybody. Mitch, Jermaine, back to you.
Fantastic. Yes, we could listen to him all evening long. Imagine being that close to participating in the Olympics. Imagine being that close to Terry Fox. That is something to remember for a lifetime. He has been such an influence on Canadian culture. Terry Fox and his legacy.
Yeah.
Great to hear from Ken.
And who would have thought he had a jumper as well, shooting from a chair? Okay, Terry.
Well, he was a player and an incredible athlete. And obviously, as we said, a change maker in Canada. Here's Patterson, and he scores as he goes back the other way, and the Surge extend their advantage to begin this second quarter.
You like to see it here from Addie Patterson, who steps into a wide open transition triple, and the energy is up right now for the Calgary Surge starting out the second.
Confidence in the group, a buzz in the building. They know they've got to be just about perfect down the stretch here to make it to the playoffs. Battling this excellent Winnipeg team. Burns tried it, couldn't score, and the whistle goes.
Oh, break right there. That looked like some great defense from Marlon Johnson Jr. Late whistle, but nonetheless, DJ Burns once again showing his worth on that offensive side. You saw the great footwork. Didn't get it to go, but now he's got a chance for a couple free throws.
Marlon with 2 fouls already in the game. We talked about the absence of first-year pro Callum Swanton-Rogereau with the fractured nose. He's hoping to play on Sunday, so they're really leaning on Marlon to show his versatility, and the fouls could prove to be a problem here. He's got to walk the tightrope a little.
Yeah, and no one knows that better than this Winnipeg front court. Whether it's Tillman, Hildebrand, or DJ Burns, you see that the Surge are a little light inside, so take it in there, rack up those fouls, and get to that line.
New Era is the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL and all 10 of its teams from coast to coast. Pick up your official replica jerseys right now by visiting CEBL.ca. A couple of sharp-looking teams on the floor here tonight. New Era suiting up all 10 teams in style once again. That one falls. 4 points separate the teams. Burns will sit down. Tillman Jr. checking back in. Calgary did not turn the ball over in the opening quarter. Has been pretty good at protecting the basketball. And here comes Patterson knifing his way in, and that counts.
No turnovers, and you see the continued attack of the interior from the Calgary Surge. That's a recipe for success right now, and that's what's got him out in front.
Addie Patterson, 14.2 points a game off the bench in the month of July, and a good hustle play there, getting the team going back the other direction. Comba feeling it tonight. That one a little off. Carey wins the battle. Second chance here, Joplin. Not this time, but you love the effort and the energy from Calgary.
You do, and the unselfishness as well. Everyone willing to give the ball up one extra pass to get a better look right now. And that's the kind of ball movement you need if you're the Calgary Surge.
Winnipeg an impressive 50% from the field in the first quarter, and that's how you get that percentage up.
Right out of the textbook, screen and dip. Lefty hammer, and it's once again Jeremiah Tillman going to work.
Patterson from the free throw line, just a little off. He thought it got a touch, or he got touched in letting it go. We play on the Surge, trying to tighten things up. Teddy Allen takes the layup, and Dave DeViro wants to talk about it a little bit here.
Yeah, I heard Dave say timeout as soon as Teddy got that first step. He knew it was in. Dave DeVero was already at the half court, throwing up that tee, bringing the guys in to talk about these last couple defensive positions.
Interesting situation for the Surge. They come out feeling good to begin the second quarter. They push a little bit, they extend the lead, and then Winnipeg says, hold on a minute, you're playing the top team in the Western Conference. We got a good one going here in Calgary. You're watching Canada's Pro Basketball League on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. Back to the Stampede City, Calgary Surge, Winnipeg CEBL, fourth and final meeting of the season series between the teams. Winnipeg won the first two, Calgary trying to take the last two. But they have their hands full tonight against this Winnipeg team. Calgary with a 2-point advantage, a 1-point edge in the quarter.
Yeah, and if you're Calgary, you knew Winnipeg was going to bring it tonight. Out for a little bit of retribution after getting their first home loss of the season to this very Calgary Surge squad. But Calgary has definitely been up to the challenge here today, and you love to see what you're seeing. Mitch, 17-7 for bench points right now for the Calgary Surge, sharing the ball well, making sure everyone gets a touch.
Yeah, that added depth over the last month or so has been really impactful for Calgary. Adonis Arms getting healthy again has been really impactful as well, and he got busy there and earned the whistle from the referee. He will go to the foul line. This Winnipeg team, we talked about it, 12-6 overall, 7-1 at home, 10-3 against the West.
Juggernauts.
Doing all the things that first place teams do.
Yeah, flat out. Flat out. Winnipeg is definitely coming for it all here this season. Locking up a playoff position finally. And Mitch, after going through this season towards the top of the West, like you see, you know they want their first franchise playoff win this year as well. You know they want it bad. And we're going to see if they're in line to get it here this season after a great play.
3 playoff appearances, 3 defeats for Winnipeg, including losing to Calgary in the Western Conference Final on their home court last season. Tremendous following there, and you know they're ready to get behind a long playoff run. So the Manitoba Capital crew, here's Carey. Can't get that one to go. Tillman had position, tapped it on for Allen, and Allen will make sure it gets into the front court with purpose. Good defending there. Numbers making it tough on Teddy the Surge, doing everything to get it back, and they do have it back now. Ahead for Arms, going strong against Tillman, and the whistle goes, and they're going to call a travel there against Arms, who's up in arms.
Yeah, as he should be right there. A whole lot of contact between Adonis and Jeremiah Tillman Jr., but Jeremiah did a good job of keeping those arms straight up and down, 12-6, just like all coaches teach you, but a whole lot of contact down low right there, and Adonis Arms, I feel, might have a case.
Players, all they want is consistency, and sometimes it takes a few minutes of a game to understand where the officials are coming from for that given night. I think what they're saying is, you guys are in a battle for something special. Back for it. Out over Arms, inside Tillman Jr. Brown thought he got his arm up. The official saw it as a foul, so heavy contact at one end, light contact at the other. Whistles in both cases.
And it is indeed, and once again, that's the Jeremiah Tillman effect. Tough defense on one side, getting good positioning on the other. Now, I hear you if you're Javonte Brown. You feel like there wasn't too much contact, but you're letting Jeremiah get that great position, and he's able to get a clean look. More times than not, if you deviate from that shot, he's going to get to the line.
Yeah, and in fairness to the officials, Javonte Brown, as you said, not in position A for defending there.
Yeah.
So Tillman steps up to the free throw line. Tillman, a 59% foul shooter on the season. Just a reminder, we'd love you to follow at CEB League on all social platforms to stay up to date on stats, on storylines, and much more from all 10 teams in Canada's Pro Basketball League. That one goes for the big man. 2 points the difference between the clubs. Luxie Miller-Moore bringing it into the front court. Versatile player who can play 1, 2, 3. Gets it in the bottom there for 2.
There you go, Ruggsy. Good decision right there. You had Tillman on the back pedal. Take it into his chest, dislodge him, get you an easy look.
Numbers there for Calgary, making it tough for Tillman. He forces it, and the Surge take it back. Cheney on the move. Cheney to the baseline. He'll find Joplin. Extra pass from Miller-Moore. Ruggsy in and lost the handle. Which way is this going to go? It's going to stay with Calgary.
Lost it on that take, but again, you love the aggression from Miller-Moore right now. Early on in the game, looking to evolve from teammates, but now you see him taking his time, facing up, and regardless of who's in front of him, he's taking to the rim with him.
Tillman, 6'10", comes out. Burns, 6'7", comes in, a little smaller for Winnipeg. Surge lineup not giant except for Brown. This one way up high off the glass. Doesn't find the bottom. Allen finds Aycott. Aycott tries to cut across, ends up taking it with the left and getting it done. Here's Arms on the double. Arms. Oh, that's a tough one and a pretty one too.
Love to see it from Adonis Arms, who is taking things personally tonight. You see him once again get to the basket, get you a little reverse lay on the same side. Good looking.
Hildebrandt from deep. No. Burns standing there waiting for it. A little too easy that time around. Calgary trying to play a little catch-up on this possession. The whistle goes against them.
My goodness, what are you supposed to do about a guy like DJ Burns setting up underneath? You saw Ruggsy did his best to get out in front. Nothing you could do. DJ, low, wide, making sure to get that center of gravity established and get 2 offensive rebounds.
Burns out of Youngstown State, played in Israel this past winter. Other experience includes playing in Kosovo. Nice pickup for Mike Rainbow's team. Contributes in a bunch of different ways. Here's Miller-Moore. On for Arms. Arms stepping back. He'll take the shot here. And that one front iron picked up by Joplin, who got in there before everybody else. Just couldn't find a way to bury it. Burns taking it himself. He goes the distance. Brown just the arm straight up did enough. Cheney in transition, slings it across. Joplin wants this one, and he's got it.
There you go, Big Jop. Take your time, line up those laces, and splash that thing from 3 on the move. Great finish on the transition cut.
Calgary 36.5% from beyond the arc, averaging 10.5 made threes over this 4-game stretch. It's added a whole new dimension to the offense, and a big part of why they've been able to find some success. Marlon Johnson, Addie Patterson coming in, Adonis Arms, and Javonte Brown will catch a bit of a breather.
I like it. A little bit of size on a guy like DJ Burns as well when you got Marlon Johnson in the game. We're going to see if that length can kind of deter what DJ's got going on here in the second.
Patterson guarding Teddy Allen. Backed him up, takes the shot, and getting to it is Ruggsy Miller-Moore. 28 in the last game between these teams for Teddy. Much slower in the second half of that game, though, from the league's leading scorer. Cheney on the move. Cheney keeps it, and he'll put it away.
It's called a hesitation dribble for a reason. And you saw Armani Cheney just kind of stop in time, put down that dribble, and lose the defense after giving him a little, now you see me, now you don't.
Little frozen teal there as Cheney made his way to the window. Now the Surge get it back. Marlon Johnson of 2 minds and coughs it up. Watson Gale at the foul line. He got caught in between. Aycott retains for the Seabears. Burns, Watson Gale. That's good.
Major shot right there from Watson Gale. Calgary just kind of struggled to get those defensive assignments worked out.
Watson Gale with 6, a couple from deep. Surge lead it by 4. Miller-Moore working against Burns. Bumps into him, gets up for the shot. Couldn't get it to go, has to be careful here. Collides with Burns, they allow play to continue. Teddy Allen, room and time. Gets the shot he wants. Can't land it. Allen with 8 in the game so far. Johnson to the perimeter. Miller Moore for Patterson. Well read there by Osborne, but Addy got it. Now here comes Ruggsy. He got up top, and he got the contact. He'll go to the line.
The aggression continues here for Miller Moore, doing a great job of baiting defenses out of position and taking advantage as well. On the run, gets you in touch, and now he's got a couple free throws here on his plate.
8 trips to the line for the Sea Bears. So just the 4th and 5th free throws of the game for Calgary. 1:38 until the halftime break. This one is whizzing by. Surge led it by 1 after the opening quarter. Added a little on so far in the second quarter as Dave DeViro looks on, and you know he is monitoring things very, very closely. He's got a definite idea of how he wants this team to play, definite understanding of the personnel, and he's constantly measuring what he sees up against what he's looking for. Ruggsy gets one to go there. In many respects, I'm sure Dave DeViro not even really thinking a lot about the other side as much as he's just wanting to see his teams do the things that they need to do to give themselves a chance. Johnson to the floor there, and that's going to go against Tillman Jr.
And there it is, right there when you're right on cue talking about a guy like Dave DeViro and philosophy changes. It's that tough-nosed defense. Marlon Johnson Jr., again, is going to have a tough night going against a guy like Jeremiah Tillman. But if Jay Tilley's throwing around those forearms, that's an easy whistle to blow when you're going the other way.
Tillman heads off, Burns comes back on. Those guys getting a lot of activity back and forth in the game. Tillman with a couple of fouls in the contest. Takes the seat. Johnson. Miller Moore inside. Johnson trying to get up. Was defended well. Patterson from long range. Too strong. Teddy's on the move. Up against Ruggsy. Ruggsy gets a hand up there. Makes a fine defensive play. Outstanding for Miller Moore. Here's Patterson. Here's Ruggsy.
That's where you love to see Miller Moore, isn't it? Out on the break, getting up top and giving you 2 hands on the move.
How about the play at one end and then the play at the other from double O? That's how you become a leader. That's how you add to the respect you've already got in this league.
That's right. That's what we call a little lock 'em down, walk 'em down, man. Rejection on one side, a finish on the other. It is two-way play here from Sean Miller Moore.
Ruggsy Miller Moore continues to mature, continues to grow his game. Proud professional, had a very good first season abroad with Evro in France this last winter. 17 points a game, played a number of different positions there, and he knows that if this team's going to win basketball games, it's not going to be about Ruggsy Miller Moore. It's going to be about doing whatever the team needs.
Yes, and you love that from a guy like Sean Miller Moore, who's got the talent, as we know, to really be the offensive load carrier. But, like you just said, Mitch, a great job from Ruggs realizing he's going to share the basketball, share with the teammates, facilitate, but at the same time, when your number is called, be ready to produce.
And he has been, especially so far tonight. Mike Rainbow getting some keywords in for his team. All right, coming up at halftime, be sure to stay with us. We've got Behind the Whistle with CEBL official Jason Steele. Cammie's got an interview coming up with the man we just saw. Seabears GM and head coach Mike Rainbow. We'll check in on the halftime stats and, of course, revisit the players to watch. Well, I'll tell you what, the way this one's going, they're all players to watch. High-end first half between these two.
Say that again, and you knew it would be. Again, Winnipeg out for retribution. Calgary at the same time trying to continue this winning streak. This is the meeting of two teams really trying to establish themselves here with about a third of the season remaining, and this is what we live for here in the CEBL.
You talk about defense leading the way. 80 points allowed for Calgary each of the last 2 games. Seabears on 36 in the last minute here on a Friday night at Win Sport. Trying to add to it, McGowan's. McGowan's working against Marlon Johnson. McGowan slings it to the corner. Close catches and gets it to Allen. 5 to shoot for the Seabears. Osborne knows it, finds the lane, and makes it look easy.
Calm under pressure. Isaiah Osborne getting to the basket. Only 3 seconds on the shot clock, but you couldn't tell from that take right there. Great finish.
7-second difference or thereabouts. Shot clock, game clock. Cheney well aware. Managing accordingly. Krause trying to stay with Cheney. Former teammates. Krause backing everybody up. Had a mishandle, got it in for Joplin. 2 seconds now. Joplin leading into Krause, gets the shot away. Does not get the call. Allen trying to count, heading to the break. Osborne for 3. Too strong, can't score it. And both teams a little sloppy at the finish line. Can't add to their totals. And as a result, we hit the break with the Surge holding a 5-point advantage.
Oh boy, the drama continues to bubble here. 5-point advantage, 2 teams not giving any leeway to the other mix. This is what we're here for tonight. I love this.
Good first half between these two. We talked about a Surge team getting back into playoff consideration with 3 consecutive wins, 3 strong defensive efforts, and timely offense. We talked about a Winnipeg team out to make amends for a loss at home, their first loss at home against this very team in Winnipeg on the weekend. Lots to play for these teams, and a good first half as anticipated. For more on that first 20 minutes, let's check in with Cammie, the special guest.
Well, Rexy, you're not just leading your team in points tonight, it's also the timeliness of those points. What can you tell us about what's been working for you on the court tonight?
I think just playing my game, staying consistent, and building chemistry within my team.
To have 17 points off the bench at the half here, that depth has been huge for the Surge this season. What does that do for the confidence of this group, knowing that any guy can step up?
Huge confidence. Shout out the bench mob. They show up in practice every day. You know, they do what we're doing as the starters. So, you know, it's only like in time where they can show what they're capable of, for sure.
When we look back to last week, and the third quarter was really where you guys took off against Winnipeg. What do you have to do to ensure that result again tonight?
Rebound the ball better, push in transition. You know, that's what we're best at, so just keep putting the foot on the gas.
Thanks for this, Rexy.
Thank you.
Rexy Miller-Moore leading his team with 9 points, put the Surge up 43-38. Mitch and Jermaine have more after this. You're watching CEBL basketball on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
To hydrate fast.
Go out, play hard, play smart, have fun. The theme of the game is respect for the game. Anything above that, we got to deal with. If we have any issues, we're coming to see you guys. If you have any issues, you come see us. All right? Good luck.
So my name is Jason Steele, 22 years as a basketball referee, 6 seasons in the CEBL. Played basketball as a kid, and played house league, and was playing in house league, and they didn't have refs for the game after my game, and they kind of just asked me, hey, do you want to referee? And I said, sure. I had no idea what I was doing. Refereed the game, and they were like, hey, you want to referee next week? We need referees. Can you come back next week and referee? And kind of just got started there. Made $20 for the game I refereed 22 years ago. President at the time of the Free Association was Mike Holmesy, former FIBA referee, and had refereed at the Olympics. And I looked at him and I said, I want to do that one day. I remember refereeing Lou Gensdor when he was 10, 12 years old. I refereed Ben Matherin when he was younger as well. Part owner of Montreal, Joel Anthony, I refereed him. Chris Joseph, also a former NBA player, played at Syracuse. All guys that have come through Montreal and or started in Montreal, and I had the opportunity to referee those guys.
Double zero. No. You'll see it on tape. Your foot's way out of bounds. You'll see it on tape.
Every time you blow the whistle, somebody's not happy, right? Just think about that. Every time you blow the whistle, somebody's not happy. So that's a battle in itself. And you know, you got fans that are involved. They're cheering for teams, and everybody's got a bias in the game except for the basketball referees and the scores table. Just get a mentor, get someone that can support you, because as we said, you know, it's not easy refereeing. Not any sport at any level, it's not easy to do. But if you have a support system, if you have a mentor, if you have someone to lean on, it makes it a little bit easier. And then once you kind of get engulfed in it and you start to meet people and have colleagues and friends and stuff like that, it just becomes a great experience. Oh, it's huge. It breaks the system of the same thing over and over. You know, when you're in Montreal or when you're in Ottawa or in Ontario, sorry, but you're refereeing the same teams over and over in U Sport. Yeah, they change, but it's the same teams over and over. And then I don't want to say you become stagnant when you reach that level, but there's definitely more accountability in the CEBL. And you got to be a good referee. You can't hide poor officials in the CEBL. It's too good of a league. If you don't take it seriously, you can't get to the highest level. Usually, if not all of the referees that referee in the CEBL or referee at the highest level have a passion and a dedication that without it, they wouldn't be there. I think people still think, you know, we show up 20 minutes before the game with our shoes in our hand, and they don't know the preparation that goes into refereeing a CEBL game. You know, this game's at 7:30 tonight. We had to leave Toronto at 5 o'clock to get here at 6 o'clock to prepare an hour and a half before the game. We had to watch, we've been watching game tape. There's a lot of preparation that go into these games. And I think that's overlooked a lot. People just say, referees, and especially in Canada, it's not their full-time job, so they're this and they're that. But no, it's even though it's not our full-time job, if you want to be good at this, you got to put in the time. There's no substitute for that.
We're halfway through this one in Calgary on a Friday night, and it is a good one. The Calgary Surge and Winnipeg CEBL meeting up for the second time in less than a week. The Surge by 5 at the midway point of the contest. Mitch Peacock with Jermaine Cummings, and let's take a little bit of a look at what we saw in that opening half of play, starting with the visitors from Winnipeg, who trail in the game, but obviously have some very impressive elements to their play.
Right, they did. You're going to look at a guy like Teddy Allen, who isn't necessarily shooting the ball well here. 3 for 10 to start the game out, but boy, oh boy, is he setting up his guys. 4 assists already to this point, not to mention he played 18 of 20 minutes in that first half, and Teddy Allen, of course, always liable to knock it down as well. The thing becomes for Winnipeg, if you're Teddy Allen, it's time to flip that switch and get the scoring a little bit, as they've been unable to kind of get in the lead.
Allen with 8, as you mentioned. Jeremiah Tillman with 8 as well for the CEBL, who are 4 of 17 from beyond the arc. Well, speaking of troubles from beyond the arc, the Surge can relate. They are also 4 of 17 from long range in this one, but they've been getting it done in a variety of ways, including good support from the bench.
Oh my goodness, Ruggsy said it when he was talking to Cammy at that halftime interview. The bench mob right now is what's keeping Calgary in this game. Winning the bench points right now are the Surge 17-9, sharing the basketball. Everyone getting on the floor, contributing when it comes to offensive production. And again, when everyone gets a touch and everyone is scoring the basketball, everyone is going to give their all on the defensive end as well. Look for the Surge to kind of continue that sharing culture here in the second half. They should be in a good position.
So Matthew Comba there getting it done from long distance. 7 points for the veteran in that opening half. 6 points in the opening half for Marlon Johnson Jr. Those players coming off of the bench to help the Surge cause. Calgary leading in this ball game, and they have been leading for 11 minutes and change so far on the night. The halftime stats are as follows, and the numbers with some, well, indications of what we've seen in the game so far. The team's pretty even in the score, pretty even in their field goal shooting. The 3-point numbers are a bit of a head scratcher, but that'll likely come along as the game goes on. What do you think about the numbers in terms of getting to the line? Would the Surge like to do a little bit more of that?
You would. You know, only getting to the line 5 times in that first half. tells you that, hey, you know what, maybe we need to get a little bit more aggressive here on the offensive end. But at the same time, you're seeing the way that the officials are calling this game. They're letting the guys play. You can't really count on getting to the line right now. So if you're the Surge, throw that out of your mind and focus on finishing as opposed to getting contact.
Yeah, numbers you don't see here. We talk about fouls and the officials. Sean Miller-Moore, Armani Cheney, Marlon Johnson Jr., and Javonte Brown, each with 2 fouls in this one already. 2 players with 2 fouls on the other side, Isaiah Osborne and Jeremiah Tillman Jr. You know, oftentimes we overlook the role players, but Callum Swan Rogers played an important part for this team in his first year, playing minutes that don't get a lot of attention, but he rolls up his sleeves and gets things done. They miss him tonight with the broken nose. Marlon Johnson trying to jump in that spot.
Yeah, and you don't realize how much you miss those role players until they're out of the lineup, and those fouls really start to stock up on your guys. But at the same time, if you're Calgary, you can't necessarily worry about the fouls. To beat this Winnipeg team, you've got to play physical. You've got 5 fouls to use them, so get in there and use them right now. And that's what's keeping the Surge out in front, is making sure to play that physical defense, and we'll see if it continues here.
More to come on the halftime show from Calgary. Stick around. You're watching CEBL basketball, and it's live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
at caltire.com.
Welcome back to Winsport. The Calgary Surge leading the Winnipeg CBears 43-38. We're joined by CBears GM and head coach Mike Rainbow. So last weekend, the third quarter is where things kind of came apart for the team. How do you prevent that from happening again? And just what was your message to the team at the break?
Yeah, I think there were some things going on in the first half that felt a little bit reminiscent of the third quarter the other day. So for us, we got to find a little bit of pep in our step, and we got to come up with some of the 50-50 plays, and we have to find a little bit better energy in the game.
Obviously, it's not an insurmountable gap to close. So what do you like about what your team's done tonight?
Yeah, I like the fact that we're not necessarily scoring it in great rhythm, but we've still found a way to generate some offense. But I don't like the way that when we miss shots, they're going the other way in transition. So we have to find a way to balance the court a little bit.
Calgary's got 28 points off the bench tonight. As a coach, just how do you adjust to that and try to limit the opportunities for these guys as they cycle in?
I think it goes back to the energy that both teams are playing with. We're going to have to find a way to match their energy.
Appreciate this, Coach.
Thank you so much.
That's Winnipeg CBears GM and head coach Mike Rainbow. sizing up his team after an energetic first half. Mitch, Jermaine, back to you.
Cammie, thank you. And yes, thank you to Mike Rainbow as well. Always gracious with his time and always very open and honest with his answers. He wants more from his team in the second half. I got a hunch we're going to see that. Let's check in on the players to watch in this one. And we had David Joplin highlighted coming into the game as a player to watch for the Calgary Surge. In the opening half, a little bit quiet, 5 points and a couple of boards.
Yeah, nothing jumping off the page here stats-wise for David Joplin, but you like that. If David Joplin hasn't necessarily flipped that offensive switch and you're still out in front, it puts you in a good spot, especially the way we saw David Joplin play that third quarter against Winnipeg last time. Kind of gives you an optimistic feeling here as to what's to come for Job.
On the other side, Jeremiah Tillman Jr., 8 points, a couple of boards in the opening half, and he was getting the attention of a lot of people with his play.
As per usual for Jeremiah Tillman, 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Efficient, strong, always something you got to watch out for and look for him to continue that same path here in the second half.
So we got a chance to look at the handiwork of the players. Here are the numbers for the respective players. Shooting percentage, well, you get that efficiency with a big man when he's feeling it. And David Joplin has proven to be pretty efficient as well for the Calgary Surge. Sense is he will warm up. He was 16-6 in the last outing between these two teams, had 4 from long range, and there's still halfway to go in this very entertaining ball game between these two teams. You got the top team in the West, you got the bottom team in the West, but it looks like a pretty even matchup so far, with the Calgary Surge looking to continue their climb back into playoff consideration. Our path to the playoffs is presented by Red Tag. Eastern Conference standings brought to you by Lotto Max. Western Conference standings presented by Cal Tire. There are the numbers around the league. Tyrell Vernon's Scarborough Shooting Stars continuing to impress. And look at the West. You've got Winnipeg there with a nose in front of Vancouver. Vancouver playing tonight against Montreal. And the Surge, with a win tonight, can get to win a couple of games of both Edmonton and Saskatoon, with Saskatoon coming in here on Sunday.
Yeah, it should be very interesting to see. And Saskatoon losing a couple of days ago, Edmonton losing last night, makes things a little bit more interesting for the Calgary Surge. But again, if you talk to Dave DeVero, they're not worried about that. You worry about the game that's in front of you. And right now, you're playing the top team in the West. No time to worry about playoffs. 20-plus minutes here to finish the job tonight if you're the Surge. We'll see if they got it in them.
Well, you know, Dave DeVero, from his time here, there is not a lot of, shall we say, nonsense with head coach DeVero. He knows what he wants, and he wants to see the team play a certain way. Everything else is secondary, because you can talk about outcomes all you want. If you don't do the parts along the way, you got no chance.
Most certainly, a guy that is all about process is Dave DeVero. Everyone knows that. Everyone involved in the CEBL knows that. If you don't, you know now. The guy is focused on process. Defensive positioning, defense first, everything else comes second, and you're seeing that philosophy come to fruition over the last 3 games.
Riley Carrison is the crew chief for this one. He's got the Spalding in his hands as we get set to begin the second half. Visitors from the Manitoba capital in their impressive teal uniforms, the Surge in their black uniforms. Captain Emmanuel Aycock getting set to get the second half of this one underway. Trey McGowan's takes it from Aycock, joined by Tillman Jr., Allen, and Osborne. Surge with their starting lineup as well. Allen up and over, doesn't go, but look at the hustle, look at the extra effort, and drawing the foul, McGowan's.
Yeah, and these are the guys who are setting guys up in the first half when you're talking about McGowan's and Allen. But in the third quarter, just talked about it, they're going to look to really start to fill it up offensively. Allen couldn't get it to go, but take a look at 6'3", Trey McGowan's, excuse me, let me get that straight. Trey McGowan's crashing the glass, getting 2, and a chance for 1 more.
Mike Rainbow talking about looking to up the energy, looking to match the intensity of the Surge. Good early indication that the message was heard there. We'll see how it goes as the third quarter rolls along. Armani Cheney, target score winner against his former team on Sunday. He's got a couple of those since joining the Surge. Here's Joplin going to work against McGowan's. Arms driving back, Allen trying to turn with it. That one went sailing out of play, and they say that it was Arms who touched it last.
See that suffocating collapse right there from Allen and McGowan's again, hooking up this time on the defensive end. These guys now bringing it early on in this third quarter.
Winnipeg Sea Bears conceding an average of 89 points a game this season, just outside the top numbers posted by the Shooting Stars in Montreal. Allen on the move. He's got an opening here. Tries the unique finish there. Doesn't work out for him this time. Arms with a pass to Ruggsy Miller-Moore. Here comes Javante Brown. Picked up by Ruggsy. Inside comes Joplin, mid-range. Ooh, looked like there was a little basket interference there.
It sure does. You can hit the ball off the rim. I'm pretty sure you can't
reach
poke
up
it
and
from
under.
underneath. Yeah.
And McGowan's trying to make the most of it. Gets it to Allen, who turns. Size mismatch. Trying to help out there was Arms. Takes the foul along the way.
And for Winnipeg here, you see it. 3 straight possessions into the hands of Teddy Allen, who's looking to score the basketball here in the third. And eventually it's going to start working out for him. So it's up to that Calgary defense to kind of shift things a little bit and try to prevent the penetration from a guy like both Trey McGowan's and Teddy Allen.
First foul of the contest against Adonis Arms. Teddy Allen to the foul line. His first free throw of the game does not land. Teddy, an exceptional free throw shooter, 90% on the season. So a rare miss. And Teddy gets the second one to go. Narrows the gap to 1. Here's Joplin. Miller-Moore. Brown to Arms. Arms got bumped into there by Allen, and the foul's going to go on Teddy. Side out of bounds. Allen's upset here. Gets to his feet and needs to be restrained. There's going to be 2 in rapid succession against number 8.
Well, Teddy hit him with the Shawn Michaels kip up off the floor. Riley Karras said that is a far too far, and threw out the T one time on him.
And we've seen Mike Rainbow manage Teddy Allen very well, sometimes bringing him over to allow things to cool a little bit. Cheney at the foul line.
And that's that line that Teddy walks, you know? He's just an intense guy. He's an intense dude, and you want him to be intense. That's the way that Teddy Allen gets to his peak. Just kind of finally walk that line, understand how much leeway he's got with each official, and adjust himself accordingly. Easy for me to say.
Mike Rainbow tasked with the duty of trying to feel that out, get it right.
Right.
And they seem to have an excellent relationship this season. Teddy Allen playing some of his most impressive two-way basketball.
Absolutely.
Leading the league in scoring along the way. Here's Javante Brown. Tillman Jr. right there. Miller-Moore uses the screen, gets into the paint with the right hand. A good bit of defending there, recovering by Tillman Jr. And Winnipeg takes it back with a chance to tie or take the lead. Allen up over Arms, and we're all square.
Right back to it. Teddy Allen again on the move this time, getting the ball at about 5 feet out and giving you a push hook from the baseline.
Cheney with a nice little float, and it will drop. So back and forth they go, but they know defense is the key. Tillman got a little bit of separation from Brown, but couldn't put it away. Arms finds Cheney. Cheney with a pass that was behind Joplin. Comes back to Cheney now. Allen making it tough. Comes to Arms, slot three. Not this time. Cheney liked it, excuse me, Arms liked it, just didn't go for him. Tillman Jr. looking for the triple. Arms in a hurry to get that rebound and in a hurry to push the pace to the attack. Arms up, can't score. Javante Brown unable to get the rebound. Arms got to get back in the mix. Long effort from Aycott. Early choice, not the good one that time. Calgary in possession. Cheney taking his time. The surge organizing. 6'3" Sea Bears in the quarter. On the move, Cheney up. Contact, no foul. And to the attack goes McGowan's. McGowan's driving. Good resistance there from Joplin. It hit the chair, went down awkwardly. Both players shaken up. Javante Brown trying to cash in at the other end. He'll make the make shot.
Hey, the officials gonna let him play. You see Trey McGowan slow to get back into it, but you have to adjust your game now to these officials. They've shown you that, hey, you guys gonna go out there and ball, man. You know, going to try to bait us into any fouls or any of that. So go out there and play.
Joplin playing all right. Nice defensive effort by him. Here comes Arms.
There it is, Adonis. He's been looking for something to kick down the door, and that righty punch will do just that.
Adonis Arms amping up this crowd to another level. Surge back in front by 6. Allen going to work against Arms. Help there from Joplin, and the foul is called, but you like the intent on the Surge defense. Nothing easy.
Most certainly. Big pressure for a guy like Teddy Allen. Again, Adonis Arms relentless here in this game. Whether it's from range or pushing the basketball, you love the bounce back here from Adonis, making sure to keep that energy up.
Coase, Burns, Watson Gale checking in for Winnipeg. Sincere Carey on the floor. On the Calgary side. So it's Allen, Osborne, Burns, Watson Gale, and Krause for the guests. Combo, Miller-Moore, Carey, Joplin, and Brown for the home side. Western Conference action presented by Cal Tire. Cal Tire, proud sponsors of CEBL Western Conference play. The other way, the home side able to cash in.
Yeah, a little physicality from Teddy Allen, and Miller-Moore says, let me give you some of that physicality right back. Gets to that hoop, taking Teddy Allen with him.
Watson Gale looked one way past the other. Krause, nice touch from Krause, the Manitoba Bison.
That's what Krause does best, catch and release. And that was a great contest from Joplin, but even better job knocking it down as Mason gives you 3.
Joplin gets a face full of Krause at the other end and earns the whistle. Calgary 2-5 at home, but they've won 2 of their last 3. After tonight, 6 games remaining for Calgary, 4 of them at home. This is the first of 4 straight in this building. That's how to play off the Surge. Speaking of 4 straight at home, Winnipeg begins 4 straight at home on Sunday against Montreal. Watson Gale moving the chess pieces around. Watson Gale for Burns, space and time for Burns, and that's what happens. He'll burn you.
And when DJ Burns crashes the offensive glass all game long, it's easy to forget he's got a jumper as well. Don't worry, he'll remind you, just like he did on that last play.
Certainly did, and we remind you this is a ball game. 52 aside, Miller-Moore into the traffic, and that goes. Looks like it's a foul here against the Sea Bears. And it's Osborne who is tagged with the foul, and the Surge will keep it. Timeout on the floor into the back half of this 3rd quarter, all even at 52, as Calgary and Winnipeg square off for the 4th time in the regular season. Stick around, much more to come. This is Canada's Pro Basketball League, and it's live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Welcome back to Win Sports, tied at 52 in the 3rd quarter. So with pro athletes, team building can turn into competition pretty quickly, and that fighting spirit was on display this week as the Surge went downhill karting at Win Sports. The team, including their staff, lined up for 3 races, and they say it's one of those things that you don't take too seriously until you're at the start line. Surprise, surprise, Rexy Miller-Moore came out on top, but we're the real winners because we get to see the action shots. And Mitch Germain, they are not slouching out in Winnipeg for team bonding activities. Those guys have been catching horse races. They went to Chance the Rapper. Guys, I think we need to step up our extracurriculars.
Obviously, we need to step up our extracurriculars. Mine involve watching TV and going for walks. So I'm a distant second or third in this competition with these two teams. But didn't that look fun on the carts with the Surge getting out and spending some time together?
I can speak from personal experience. As a Calgary native, I have hit the downhill carts at Winsford here a time or 2 or 3,000. So I can tell you, Mitch, it is a blast getting down there on those carts.
That's why you're always so geared up when you come in here.
There you go. Come on now. Fresh off the track.
Doesn't surprise me one bit. Foul called as we get back to it. 52 aside. Talked about Winnipeg's impressive record against the West at 10-3. The Surge are 3-7 against the West. But the good news for Surge fans is the 3 has come in the last 3 games against the top 2 teams on the table in the West.
That's exactly it. The winning streak right now is against some of the best in the West, so you have to take that if you're the Surge and build on it.
By the way, your seat is waiting for you to catch every single game live from the Winsport Events Center. Get your tickets at calgarysurge.ca/tickets or by scanning that QR code. Watson Gale at the controls. Waiting for things to line up. Slings it for Burns. Burns on the move. Got a lane, got an angle, and got a bucket.
What a slice from DJ Burns. Only 2 dribbles from the 3-point line to the bucket, but making it look easy as per usual. There goes DJ.
Rexy Miller-Moore gets them in the air and draws the foul. Osborne tabbed again.
And now you see the business look here on Sean Miller-Moore's face. Guy's taking it personal right now, taking all this contact personal. He feels like he's been getting touched up the entire game. So how do you counteract? Bring that physicality right back to him. Get yourself to the line.
2 on Osborne. He'll sit down. Rexy will go to the free throw line. 68% on the season from the stripe. One of the areas that's improved in his game. And that'll drop for Ruggsy. We talked about how things have turned this last 4 games for Calgary, despite the loss in Whitehorse a couple of weeks ago. That was a pretty solid effort, and then 3 straight wins for the team. One of the areas the team has been really proud of are the number of assists that they're recording, keeping the ball moving. It's been an integral part of their improvement. And at the same time, down at the other end, we'll call them stocks, steals, and blocks. They've been piling up those numbers as well.
Gritty numbers. When you're talking about stocks, Mitch, you're talking about hard-nosed playing. Those aren't easy. Making sure to put yourself in position to block shots and get those steals to go the other way.
And right on cue, Addy Patterson to Marlon Johnson. Ruggsy Miller-Moore slows it down just a little bit. Patterson finds Carey. Here's Ruggsy. Waiting for Marlon Johnson to get into position. Johnson opening up the lane a little bit. Ruggsy on the move. Kicks it to the perimeter. 6 to shoot. Carey driving. Patterson, tough catch. Runs the baseline. They've got to shoot it. And they don't get the shot away. And the Sea-Bears celebrate a good defensive possession.
As they should. That's a great job locking down for 24 seconds as Winnipeg gets a turnover right there. But if you're the Surge, you've got to be more aware of that clock.
So the Surge, who've improved their communications, they spent a lot of time talking to one another on the floor. Just didn't get the word out that time around, and the time got away from them. 3.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. Tillman Jr. swarmed by 2.
Look at this.
The time going down against Winnipeg here. Krause finds a way to get in, and well done, Mason Krause. That's how you make the most of the situation.
Well, certainly. If you're going to throw doubles out, everyone else has got to be on a string, and right there, the rotation too late. Krause takes advantage.
Miller-Moore backs up Akon. Miller-Moore out for Carey. Carey with 5 seconds to get his shot away. The fans lending a hand. Carey gets in and knocked away by Tillman Jr., who was not going to give up on the play.
Well, there goes block number 26 from Jay Tilley. Franchise block leader, giving you an example of it right there. Only leaving 1 on the clock here for the Surge to make something happen.
Not much of an opportunity here for Calgary. Carey will toss it in, knocked down by Acott. And the clock runs out on the Calgary Surge, so taking over on the turnover, the Sea-Bears.
2 consecutive possessions here. Winnipeg able to get a shot clock violation against the Calgary Surge. That lets you know that the Sea-Bears are engaged defensively, and right now they're reaping the rewards.
Halftime, Mike Rainbow talking with Arkady Koepke about wanting that energy level up, wanting to at least match the intensity from the Surge. Winnipeg has come to play at another level. That one was halfway down and came back out. Sincere Carey up against Watson Gale on the move. Carey, strong move, and he'll score.
How about it? Little big man basketball from Sin Carey as he just removes Watson Gale from his area and gives you a lefty leg.
Carey picks it up at the other end. Working hard, Sin Carey leading the attack. Matthew Comba finds the open man. Miller Moore will try the 3. Doesn't fall, swatting at it. Johnson couldn't come away with it. And it will stay with Calgary. So 14 seconds on the shot clock, 2:05 remaining in the third quarter. Sincere Carey to get it back into play. Carey 4 points, 2 rebounds, and a known playmaker. Gets it in for Patterson. Patterson on the baseline, 2 people come his way. He just ran out of real estate. Marlon Johnson thought about the 3. Johnson on the attack, puts it up with the left hand and draws the contact.
Yeah, lucky there for Johnson as he got touched up a little bit from Tillman Jr., but I tell you what, that's a 3rd consecutive possession where Calgary was up against it when it comes to the shot clock. Got to get a little bit more intentional and get into that offensive set a little bit quicker right now.
And we talked about part of the improved offense for Calgary was the ball movement, generating those assists, and ball gets stuck or you get caught standing still, you can run out of options in a hurry. Johnson now with the 2nd from the foul line. Trying to make it a 4-point Calgary lead. And he will do just that. Marlon Johnson with a couple when the Surge are looking for offense. Johnson, 2-time CEBL champ with Saskatchewan and with Edmonton. Going to add that veteran experience to this playoff push from Calgary. McGowan's driving against Joplin. The whistle blows and the ball falls through the bucket. That is a strong effort from McGowan's.
That is major right there. David Joplin, a great defender, and he was draped all over McGowan's, but once again, Trey able to take that hit, get the shot to go, and now get a chance for 3 the old school way. Tough nose play here from McGowan's in the 3rd quarter.
So 4th foul on Calgary. Surge already in the bonus. And you can catch all the exciting basketball from Canada Life Center in downtown Winnipeg as part of Sea-Bears Summer. Pick up your tickets by visiting seabears.ca/tickets or scan the QR code. Matty Patterson scanning the floor. Gives to Marlon Johnson. Johnson for Comba. Comba will pick it up. Still plenty of time for Calgary, but once again, the Sea-Bears making it tough. Comba makes it look easy.
He sure does. As MK up against both the shot clock and great defense from DJ Burns gives you 3 more now. Look at him go from long range.
That's 3 triples in the game from Comba. The Surge only have 5. That one is thrown away. It's a hand up from McGowan's who says, that's on me.
Sometimes all you need is that spark off the bench, and tonight, Matthew Comba is the guy providing that spark, specifically from range. Great defense. You already know Comba brings it every single night, but when he can be a release valve and give you consistent 3-point shooting, boy, oh boy, does that open things up offensively.
Surge now trying to build off the energy created by Comba. Patterson working there. ran into a roadblock, got tangled up with Watson Gale. The ball is out of play off Watson Gale, and the Surge will get it back. Watson Gale does tripped.
That is. You see Winnipeg here continuing with the great defense. We need Calgary to talk a little bit more offensively. Right now, the defense on another level for the CEBLs. ISO defense, double teaming as well, right there on time. Calgary got to lock in a little bit. Once again, they're under 10 seconds. Got to get a shot off.
8 seconds for Calgary. 48 seconds remaining in the quarter. Playoff style game between these two. Marlon Johnson. Johnson will take the shot from straight away. Doesn't go. Fighting for the rebound. Kumba! And he comes up big again.
Get to it, MK. Outside, inside, does not matter. He's going to put on that hard hat and give you buckets. Go ahead, Matthew. Get you that second chance opportunity.
Out of Bishop McNally High School in Calgary and Central Arkansas, Matthew Kumba off the bench, making a difference. Deep now into the last minute. Acott, too much room and time.
Yeah, he's got that in his bag, this Acott. Got to press up on him.
Here comes Joplin. Surge with the last possession. Good effort to get back from Burns, but he lost his balance and knocked Joplin to the deck.
Called for a foul this time, but defensive intensity here on another level for Winnipeg. If you're Calgary and you're getting into this third quarter break, got to discuss how you're going to counteract this great defense and this tough-nosed play from the CEBLs. If this continues into the fourth, Calgary's definitely going to find themselves in a situation where they've got to counteract.
Joplin experience at some of the highest levels, played in the top league in France before coming to the CEBL. And has been impactful for Calgary with his two-way play, with his three-point shooting. At the free throw line now. Everything makes a difference in this one. Winnipeg won the first meeting of the season between the teams by 20, the second meeting between the teams by 19. Calgary has changed personnel, changed coach, changed their fortunes. Good effort there by Johnson to get in. Can they get a late shot away here? Patterson, you bet!
That is how you finish out a quarter right there. It's Marlon Johnson Jr. not giving up on the play. And how about Addison Patterson at the buzzer, showing you what happens when you don't put his body on him.
Marlon Johnson Jr., a two-time CEBL champ, showing the championship mindset there, makes a big play, and Calgary finishes the quarter on a high. This is the CEBL, and it's live on CBC Jam, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. And we're back to Calgary. Time now for the Cruise the Game, presented by Cal Tire.
Since the jump today, Adonis Arms has been playing intentional and looking to tear the rim down at every single opportunity. This is what happens when you get him out in the open floor. It's a righty hammer, it's a momentum swinging play, and it puts you in a great position going into the fourth to try to get this game away from the CEBLs.
9 points, 5 boards, and assist for Adonis Arms. Strong play at both ends of the floor from him from the surge. And we have got ourselves a terrific contest. Calgary 68 and Winnipeg 62 as we start the fourth quarter. Winnipeg pushing for top spot in the West. Calgary trying to keep their playoff hopes going. Looking to win a fourth consecutive game. Combo to the corner. Extra passes for Joplin. And that's how you do it.
Share the basketball, baby. Everyone get a piece of this. Whether it's Comba, whether it's Joplin, whether it's Patterson. Everyone touch that basketball, get the best look, and knock it down.
Allen's got it up and over. Tough shot. Big rebound. Joplin gets it to Carey. Carey for Joplin. Joplin guarded by Hildebrandt. Marlon Johnson for Carey. Carey for three. Oh, that's good.
Major right there, and that's Jeremiah Tillman contesting that shot. Nothing but a breeze for a guy like Sin Carey.
Sincerely fine shot there from Carey. And this one out of play. And the Surge are getting a surge from these fans. There might be a surge coming up for the Winnipeg CEBLs. Cammie's got some news.
Yeah, massive news for the CEBLs off the court. The league has confirmed three-time CEBL MVP Xavier Moon has been activated and can play as soon as this weekend. It's been a long wait for the star point guard as Moon and the team awaited international clearance from FIBA. This is a guy who brings NBA experience, 3 Player of the Year awards. And Mike Rainbow says he's been huge in practice and being as helpful as he can be without being eligible for game action. So, Mitch, I think Sunday's tilt against Montreal just became some must-watch ball.
Big news for the CEBL and for the Winnipeg CEBLs, but the moment at hand is of a concern to head coach Mike Rainbow. The Surge have stretched it out here to begin the fourth quarter, and Coach Rainbow wants to talk about it.
Coming out the gate swinging right now in the fourth are the Calgary Surge, and it starts on the defensive side. But when you're able to play good defense and convert on the other end, that is most certainly going to get Mike Rainbow up off the bench, throwing out that tee.
Now, here's the interesting thing. Sometimes success can throw you off balance a little bit. So how do the Surge find a way to stay with the fundamentals that have gotten them this position?
It's as simple as in this timeout right here, realizing that what, like you just said, has gotten you to this position has been the defense. You can't forget about that. Granted, everything coming to you so easily, seemingly so easily on the offensive side, but you can't forget what got you there. It's the defensive play. It's locking down guys like Teddy Allen. It's making sure guys like Jeremiah Tillman aren't easily able to just walk around the restricted area and go to work. Be tough, be strong, use those 5 fouls and get going the other way.
Hey, speaking of fouls, Tillman Jr. is on 4, and Isaiah Osborne on 3. Also on 3, Teddy Allen for those CEBLs. Calgary has 1 player with 3 fouls in the game, that being the ex-CEBL, Armani Chaney. Lead scorer in the game to this point, Sean Miller-Moore. Ruggsy has 15. On the Winnipeg side of the story, Teddy Allen leads with 13 on 4 of 14 shooting as the Calgary Surge continue to find ways to limit Teddy Allen. He had 20 in the first half of the game on the weekend, but the second half they tightened it up on the league's top scorer, and he's had to work hard here tonight for his cookies.
Yeah, you know he would too. Come out in the third and try to get to it, but a great job by that Surge defense, making things tough.
Marlon Johnson with some real extra effort in this game. He just took a kick to the face, and now he's going to get back up. He's feeling it, the defense digging in. And hold on now, is there a foul or is it an offensive foul?
We got Tillman on that one. I know that look on Riley Carrison's face.
Ooh, Tillman with his 4th.
That's tough. What a way to start. 2 guys just kind of battling down low. You're going to see Tillman after that miss just kind of get a little bit too physical. You're going to see him go up here, get that miss. Glitch in the matrix. Nonetheless, believe me when I say there was a little bit too much forearm there from Jay Tilley, and that's going to be a ball game from Tillman Jr.
Wow, a couple of guys in tough spots when it comes to the fouls. It Burns on 4 and Tillman on 4. So Tillman out at the moment now, looking for something. Comba, that one rimmed around, and it will go the other way. The CEBLs will get it back. Comba feeling it, thought he had more to add to the total there. Comba with 11 points in the game, 3 made threes. Teddy Allen going down here, and he reaches out for his left ankle. But good to see him get up and try to walk that off.
It is. And checking out that Adidas sneaker, making sure everything is all together, but got to hold things together. If you're Calgary, you got to go ahead and credit your defense for being enough of a deterrent for Teddy Allen to make that mistake.
2 minutes into the fourth quarter. Surge getting a little bit of separation, taking nothing for granted. Patterson stepping back. That one doesn't go. Watson Gale's got it. Allen is really smarting.
Yes.
And Allen now having a tough time as he takes a moment on the floor, and you do not like to see this from any player, but certainly Teddy Allen rolling around gets a lot of people's attention.
That it does. And
this is not a situation of a player trying to stall or trying to get a little bit of time in the game. You could see him wincing earlier when he went down, and now really in a difficult spot as he gets assistance from the athletic therapist here.
Yeah, terrible to see for TA. He just went on the closeout, and I didn't see it, but I feel like that ankle may have rolled over on that closeout. For TA, you never want to see him go out like this.
You know, and he's going straight to the locker room. Assistance from Burns and the athletic therapist, and well, certainly thoughts and best wishes for one of the standouts the CEBL has ever seen, and Teddy Allen.
Definitely.
Gonna get out and make sure that that floor is dry, so the athletes are safe. Burns over there with some words to say for his teammates, and this is a really important time in the game for the Sea Bears. They're trailing the game by 14. They know that we're not that far away from target score time. They've seen their top gun go off. They've got to get together and find that even keel.
Yeah, most certainly. In 62nd, Mitch, they lost Jeremiah Tillman Jr. and Teddy Allen. Those are two of your best offensive players and defensively, frankly, out of the game. Just like that. So like you just said, it's time for them to lock in with 7:45 in this one and try to make up the slack that's going to be left by those two monster performers.
Side out of bounds. Acott will get us started again. Acott, McGowans, Burns, Osborne, and Watson Gale for the visitors. Comba defending here, digging in as he always does. Working well there, limiting Burns. Burns turns, walks right into Johnson. Good defending, that clock ticking down. Coming back, getting in there and making the play was Joplin. But it's whistled as a foul, and the fans cannot believe it.
Tough break right there for Joplin, who, granted, was late on the rotation. In his mind, got a whole lot of ball, but when you're coming from the backside, boy, oh boy, it is easy to get that whistle called against you. And like we just saw, that's what happens.
That's 3 on Joplin as Acott takes his place at the line. Winnipeg winning 96-83 at Saskatoon on Wednesday. They're looking for back-to-back wins on the road. They've got some work to do. On the move, Carey. Here's Joplin. 4-3. Not this time. Comba comes in. And the bump sends Burns to the deck. That's the first on Comba, slowing the transition and allowing his team to organize defensively for these Sea Bears.
With Allen out, again, it's going to be up to guys like Burns, McGowans, and of course, Watson Gale here to try to fill in that slot offensively. See what the Winnipeg Sea Bears got cooked up.
Watson Gale, Acott, McGowans going to work. Still plenty of time for Trey. Has a look around. Comes the way of Watson Gale. The surge converge. Now Osborne. No, that's strong. The surge pick it up. A good defensive effort that time. Matching what they saw from the Sea Bears earlier in the contest. And here's Comba. Joplin. Sincere carry. Joplin backing up Osborne. Inside, Patterson tried the tricky one up over the shoulder. And back the other way goes Winnipeg. Watson Gale, oh, he looked like he was out of control there. And taking the charge is Carey.
Great job. Is out of control is a great way to put it. And we're going to go the other way just like that. You see a Carey standing in, taking that charge. Major play defensively from the Calgary.
Big reaction from the crowd and a big reaction from the Calgary bench on the effort there from Sincere Carey. You got to care about your team to dig in like that, and he did. The Surge with that 13-point advantage with 6:23 showing on the fourth quarter clock. Calgary vying for a fourth consecutive victory. After back-to-back wins against Vancouver, can they go back-to-back against Winnipeg? As far as Winnipeg is concerned, they've got Montreal coming up on Sunday, 5 o'clock Central, 6 Eastern time. It's a rematch from early on in the season. Montreal took that one by 6. It's the final game of a 3-game road trip for Montreal, who are at Vancouver tonight. Saskatchewan and Calgary, they get together on Sunday. 4 o'clock Mountain, 6 Eastern, rematch of that Real North game from Yukon. Saskatoon winning that one in a tight battle. And that could be a monster game come Sunday afternoon here if the Surge can find a way to secure this victory.
Say that again. Things getting very interesting, as they tend to do, with the postseason in view here for everyone. It's nip and tuck going forward. Expect a whole lot drama, a whole lot more drama coming to you.
Coming out of the timeout, possession for Calgary.
Don't look now, Mitch, but that's Teddy Allen's music. That's Teddy Allen's music. TA has entered the game and is on the floor once again, ready to get to it. Hurt ankle, forgotten about.
Great to see for the league. Not so great news for the Calgary Surge. Marlon Johnson, though, with something nice to see.
Yeah, you know, it is great news. That is Johnson Jr. getting it to you from the corner out of the timeout. Smooth stroke.
Osborne finds some open space, takes no time at all to take advantage of it. Comba calls his own number in transition. Joplin working for the rebound. Gathered by Burns. Burns on 4 fouls. Tillman Jr. on 4 fouls. Inside, Marlon Johnson, what a read that is. Comba with his foot on the accelerator. He'll take it the distance.
Well, I think a guy like Matthew Comba is ready. It's inside, it's outside, it's transition finishes. The guy is engaged, and you know what happens when he is. Pay dirt.
The improved Calgary depth has really been impactful for them in this push back into playoff consideration. Johnson really took one in the face that last time around. He's had a couple of shots. We got a tie up here. Which way is the arrow going? It looks like it's going to be Winnipeg basketball.
Yeah, tough break right there for Sinclair. He just kind of got caught up. Wasn't sure if he wanted the timeout or what was going on with Marlon Johnson Jr. And that's a good job by Winnipeg converging on that basketball and digging out a possession.
Got a wet basketball, so Riley Carrison's going to make sure that that Spalding is nicely looked after. You got to be good to your Spalding if you want the Spalding to be good to you. That's what I understand anyway.
Yeah, that's a bar right there, Mitch. I like that. Take care of the Orange, and Orange will make sure that you get a dub.
Surge with the lead of 81-68. They had the advantage at halftime of 43-38, a 5-point lead. Have expanded that advantage. Scoring here in the fourth quarter, 8-1 for the home side. Fans enjoying what they're seeing. Minute and change from the target score window opening up. McGowan's trying to open up Carey. Easier said than done. He's had a great game since here, Carey. The bench has been outstanding for Calgary. Once again, Comba snatches the rebound. Now a move from Carey that's got them oohing and eyeing. Comba! Not this time. Everybody wondering if that was going to drop. Ala Kawhi with a little bouncing around on the rim. Allen had it slip out of his hands. He'll get it back. Teddy backing up. His mobility looks good. Inside, Comba saw it coming, and he secures it. Joplin, hold on. Is this 3? Yes, it is.
It certainly is. Call him up, BJ, as once again, Matthew Comba is the genesis of a play in transition, finished off by David Joplin. That is synergy right there.
Make the right play combo, they call them. They lose their coverage this time around. And Tillman Jr. finishes with ease. 14 points, the gap between the teams. And now we're inside 4 minutes on the fourth quarter clock. Rugsy Miller-Moore to his left. Miller-Moore down the lane. Miller-Moore hangs in the air and it just wouldn't tumble for double O. Carey coming in. He'll take the foul to stop the clock and set up target score time.
I got to tell you, Trey McGowan saw that coming. As he was getting to the half-court line, you saw St. Carey prepare for the steal, and Trey just kind of got that shoulder ready, got that elbow ready, and said, here's going to be a collision. And there certainly was.
There was a collision. It's been a collision all night long between these two. A great game is headed for target score time when we come back. This is the CEBL, live on CBC Jam, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. You gotta love a Canadian boost. Two hands, me. Oh, what a block from behind.
Next bucket wins. Target score time is the best time of a game. The energy, the drama.
And anything can happen. Oh, my goodness. Can you believe this guy?
Big players step up in big time. He is cooking.
Back to the Winsport Event Center in Calgary. The Surge 84, the Seabears 70. As we enter target score time, Calgary outscoring Winnipeg 16-8 in this fourth quarter, Jermaine.
Getting to it late is the name of the game for the Calgary Surge. And after the Seabears came out of the halftime break on another level, making sure that the third quarter belonged to them, these Calgary Surge, no quitting them. You love to see it. And where did it start? As per usual, just like Dave DeVero says, on the defensive side of the floor. Everything else falls right into place easily after.
Coach DeVero likes to say that buy-in tends to follow wins. And the team has been executing as the coach has requested. And the wins have followed. And the buy-in seems very much there for this Calgary team. Trying to close it out against Winnipeg tonight. McGowan's working against Marlon Johnson. Oh, that pass is a little high, and it sails over Krause.
Not going to see it show up on a stat sheet. It's an intangible right there, but it's the defensive positioning of the Calgary Surge causing that overthrow. McGowan's had to get that over some outstretched arms, and sure enough, it was also Krause's arms. He got him over as well.
Carey, Miller-Moore, Patterson, Joplin, and Johnson for Calgary in target score time. Miller-Moore moving it around for Johnson. And we've got a whistle. Riley Carrison spotted something.
Yeah, TA got hit up high from Miller-Moore, and that's what Alan's saying right now. You didn't see it. And Riley Carrison just kind of blowing the whistle real quick to make sure to see.
Allen's on 3 fouls. He had a technical earlier in the game as well. A second would send him to the showers.
Yeah, just out of the range of the camera there. That is where Allen is saying he got that forearm up top. Right now, they're just going to talk it over.
Well, there's got to be something against Allen if they're stopping the play.
Yep, you definitely think that right there. Now we're going to bring him out, maybe just let him cool down real quick.
Riley Carrison, outside of your view, is having a talk with Dave DeVero. Carrison is the crew chief. Now he makes his way back to the baseline, and we'll get started again. Rugsy Miller-Moore for Marlon Johnson.
Yeah,
10 on the shot clock. Miller-Moore runs in some teal tall trees and can't get it to a teammate. That's going to be Winnipeg basketball. Just a little too much of a good intention from Rugsy Miller-Moore, and Winnipeg will take over.
Yeah, TA is going to get back in. And you feel that maybe Riley Carrison style of the game. Anytime you've got any contact around the head, face region, you got to kind of slow things down a little bit and maybe blow the whistle, and that's what happened in that situation.
So Allen is out with Krause and Watson Gale, Osborne, and Tillman Jr. Tillman Jr. again on 4 fouls. Allen with the shot there, and the whistle goes. The foul is called against Calgary.
And in typical Teddy Allen fashion, You play physical with him, he's going to look to get physical right back. You see him get back into the game and take the ball right into the defense. Try to get his guys back into it from the line.
Allen with 13 in the game. He averages more than 28 on the season. Fans doing their part to lend a hand. It's been a tough night for Teddy Allen. He's got an ankle that's not 100%. He's been getting closely guarded by the Surge. The numbers have just not been there. He's trying to help his team late on. Surge 9 points from a 4th straight win. Sincere carry against Watson Gale. Inside, Patterson. Patterson! He just couldn't get it. Up and over the defender. He had taken flight until that flight was interrupted.
As he tends to do. There goes Addy Patterson again, throwing himself at the rim. Unable to get that cock back to go down, but now he's going to go to the line here and see if he can get a couple.
Patterson to the free throw line. And that is 5 on Tillman. So yes, officially the end of the night for Jeremiah Tillman, who's been walking the tightrope for a little while. And he is no longer in the mix. That's a big loss for Mike Rainbow's team. Patterson takes care of the assignment. Watson Gale tries to get away from Carey, comes to Burns. Back for Watson Gale, good defending from Johnson. Mismatch inside. Burns can't score it. Miller Moore trying to keep it alive. Manages to do so. Joplin on the move. Miller Moore, that pass a little too hot to handle. Bugsy thought he got a little bit of a nudge there too. Patterson working against Allen. Allen gets a second chance. That's usually trouble. And it is this time.
And it is great snatch right there as you see Allen making sure to secure that offensive rebound and put that back up and get his two to go.
Here's Joplin. Now Carey. Carey, Allen reaching around, couldn't take it away. Inside, Miller Moore. Miller Moore looking for Joplin. It was defended well there. And the Sea Bears take it back. Time to get back to that structure for Calgary. Build on the defense. Patient at the offensive ends. Whistle goes here. And the foul is against Calgary. And it's against Addy Patterson. So baseline out of bounds for the Sea Bears.
Dave DeVero here saying things are getting awfully chippy right now. Tons of physicality. But I gotta say, the officials have been consistent all game long. Let the guys get to it right now. And can't expect just because now it's target time the whistles are gonna come out.
Yeah, my mistake too. The Surge are in the penalty, so the bonus will send Allen to the line. Winnipeg on 3 fouls. And Allen cashes in on the first one as the Sea Bears inch a little closer. Fans have really been locked in for Calgary tonight at Winsport Event Center. Hasn't thrown Allen off in these critical moments. Patterson brings it into the front court, directs traffic a little. Addy Patterson's been a standout off the bench this season for Calgary. Johnson for Carey. Ooh, a big screen there up top for Johnson, and he can't get it to fall. Tough play for Marlin, and it just didn't drop for him. Wide open 3, Watson Gale, no. Rebound Osborne. They'll get a second chance. Teddy Allen, the man to handle that. And again, a third chance. Now the Surge caught ball watching a little here in target score time. And the foul is called, and the energy just starting to go the way of the Sea Bears.
That's exactly it right there, Mitch. That energy right now kind of gone from the Calgary Surge, frankly, here in the last minute or so. And Winnipeg is keeping it up. You're seeing it's keeping them in the game, but got to close the deal here if you're the Calgary Surge. You've seen them kind of gear down the last little bit. That can't be the case.
Calgary timeout. Dave DeVero recognizing the moment. Thought he'd give his team some time to problem solve, but now he just wants to make sure that the thinking is right, that the approach is where it needs to be, and that the Surge can find their way to 93. Calgary at 2-5 at home this season. Winners of 2 of their last 3 on home court, but this is their first game in this building in a month. And it's actually the 1-month anniversary of their first win of the year. If you're wondering how the Surge got themselves into this difficult spot in terms of pursuit of a playoff position, well, that's what happens when you start 0-10. But the good news is they have made a coaching change. That coach has got some work in the gym with his team. It's a new look team. They found a starting group that they can rely on and some real quality off the bench. And they're on the brink of something special here tonight, which would be following up back-to-back wins against Vancouver with back-to-back wins against Winnipeg. Too early to count the chickens just yet. But if you told them coming into this game that they'd be up 86-75 with a target of 93, they'd have taken it 100 times out of 100.
They sure would, and frankly, the players might expect it. Mitch, the main thing to do, and you got to commend the Calgary Surge for this, is when you go 0-10, to bring some new guys in who are willing to buy in and lay it all out on the floor every single game to claw back into it. Unbelievable unselfishness here, frankly, from the Calgary Surge. Mitch, you could have brought some guys and said, look, you guys are 0-10. I'm going to come in here and get my shots up. Who cares, man? CEBL, we're having fun. That's not what these guys did. They said, we are going to claw out of this hole one step at a time. And one more game potentially under their belt if they can get it done today to add on top of that pile.
Burns converts the first one. Joplin, Cheney, Johnson, Carey among those joining the team as the season was in progress. Very little resemblance of this roster to opening night roster in those difficult opening weeks. 86-77, Carey's got it. The Surge looking to get back on track at the offensive end. Joplin, Comba, who's had a good night. Joplin again. Still 8 seconds to get a shot away. Joplin backs up the defense. Joplin strong there. Off the glass doesn't go. Javonte Brown couldn't find it. Here's Teddy Allen, who all of a sudden has 18. Always seems to find a way. Backing him up is Javonte Brown. This is a bit of a mismatch. Brown trying to do his best to hang in there. Joplin protecting the baseline. Here comes Comba, breaks it up. 6 to shoot it for Osborne. That one in and out. Burns mixing it up with Joplin.
Hey, the guy getting ramped up underneath.
Here's Carey. Rolling is Brown. Carey holding on. Carey now stepping back, looking for help. Carey up top for Ruggsy Miller-Moore with a team leading 15. Deep in the shot clock. Comba had a good look at it. Brown's got the rebound, couldn't score.
Another great defensive possession here from the Winnipeg Sea-Bears, who are engaged defensively.
There's been a handful of times in this game where you wonder if you could ever get a shot against them.
All right.
Allen on the move here. He ran into Comba. Surge will gladly take the rebound and get back to work at the offensive end. They need something here to feel good about. Comba trying to provide it. Heavy contact. He swats it for Miller-Moore, who can't clutch it. Here comes Allen. Don't go anywhere. This one not done. Sea-Bears competing to the very end. Burns, great defensive play by Javonte Brown. Comba, Ruggsy Miller-Moore!
Pull out the extender, why don't you, Miller-Moore?
Oh, did they need that?
Boy, oh boy.
Did they need that?
Man, that is a momentum pump-up right there.
You watch the two teams heading to their respective benches right now. Osborne frustrated, his shot didn't drop. Ruggsy Miller-Moore with a big injection of juice there for the Surge. What a sequence, and now the Surge are feeling a little better about things.
I gotta tell you, you see Watson Gale doing his best down there, but good luck when you get Miller-Moore in an open floor, boy. It is to the hard way. And those are the kind of plays that swing momentum into your favor.
A hot start to the fourth quarter for the Calgary Surge. Put them into a apparent comfortable advantage, but the Winnipeg Sea-Bears have found a way to stick and stay in this one. And so here we go, continuing with some nail biting as the teams gather at their respective benches, each team down to a final timeout as they talk things over. Miller-Moore leading the way for Calgary with 17. And it's Teddy Allen with 18 to lead the way for the Sea-Bears, who are without the services of Jeremiah Tillman Jr., who has fouled out. DJ Burns competing on 4 fouls. Calgary with another big night from the bench, 40 points to 21 in their favor. Points off of turnovers have been impressive for Calgary as well, 20 points to 10. They're doing a lot of the little things, but now they need those little things in target score time where it's so easy to get distracted.
Yeah, it is. And I tell you, you got to commend this Winnipeg defense. So much fight here in this target score time, not going out without a fight right now. And if you're Calgary, it's time to settle down a little bit. We've had a few possessions where things didn't necessarily go your way, but Sean Miller-Moore is doing what he can to lift the vibes here in this building. It's time for you to carry that here and finish the job off the back of that great finish at the rim.
Surge got a big boost before the timeout, but Winnipeg has had the edge in target score time, and they're going to keep the ball here, but they're getting made to work for everything by these Calgary defenders. Fresh 14 for the Sea Bears. Watson Gale. Teddy Allen for three. Aycott wants the rebound. Ruggsy Miller-Moore will get it instead with some help from Joplin, who got position underneath. Armani Chaney played just under 16 minutes in this game. He's nursing something that he is less than 100%. Ruggsy Miller-Moore ready to put one away there. The timing just a little off. Inside for Brown. Brown gets mugged. He'll go to the line.
That's in the house situation right there, and that's a good job by Miller-Moore realizing Javonte Brown had a meal inside. That was some sauteed chicken, and unfortunately for Brown, he couldn't take it down initially, but now he's going to get a chance to put some takeaway, put that thing in a little to-go bag, and get you two on the road.
I'm not sure how often Jelani Watson-Gale's been referred to as sauteed chicken, but he just got skewered tonight in Calgary, I think.
I'll tell you what, come on, Mitch, come on.
So here comes Javonte Brown trying to take care of some business at the stripe. Second attempt will have to do for Javonte. Fans behind him. You would have no idea that the Surge are 4-13 if you felt this building tonight and saw the effort of this group.
Absolutely. That's coaching, that's buy-in, that's practice, that's processing. It's not done yet, but you love what you're seeing here from the guys at target score time.
Watson Gale works away from Miller-Moore, gets it to Burns. Burns out for Aycott. Not rushing anything here, the Sea Bears. Watson Gale strong against Miller-Moore, but can't score. And Calgary takes it back. 5 from victory. Miller-Moore into the corner. Kamba. That one's a little bit strong and just wouldn't tumble. Wry smile from Matthew Kamba. Thought he had it. Burns. Allen now. Kamba watching him closely. Burns. Oh, that's smooth.
Sure is.
Pure from Burns.
Effortless behind the back pass there from Teddy Allen. The trust in a guy like DJ Burns to knock it down, and DJ comes through.
Surge with a 14-point lead to start target score time. That lead is now down to 8. Chaney looking for movement. Helped out by Brown. Chaney working one side, then the other. He knows the clock is running down. He'll float this one. Doesn't land for him. They'll get a second chance. Miller-Moore for 3. Yes, sir!
That's how you feel, Ruggsy? That's how you feel? What a triple and what a target score time here from Sean Miller-Moore. That, my friend, is ice in the veins.
We talked about Ruggsy trying to expand his game. He's become much more aware of what the best play is at the right time. In this case, it was calling his own number. That clock was running out, and Ruggsy hit the 3.
I tell you, Ruggsy put his arm up, called for that ball nice and loud, confidently stepped into that triple, and he knew it was butter as soon as he let it go. That is major right there.
Surge 2 points from a 4th consecutive win. 4 points from setting up a monster game here on Sunday against Saskatoon. Burns. Carefully guarded by Brown. Aycott, watched by Joplin. That falls from Aycott. Not out of character for him to make a shot like that. The fans are on their feet here. They know what 2 points means for Calgary. Chaney on the move. Chaney driving. Chaney is swatted away by McGowans, who is not going to concede. Another finish for the win from Armani Chaney against his former team. Calgary to get it back into play. Chaney, Joplin. Joplin having a look around. Plenty of time still. Allen with a good defensive play and knocked it out.
A lot of rock pounding right now for the Calgary Surge.
The ball moving.
Yeah, keep it going. That's what got you to this point, is sharing the basketball. Now's not the time to look for the easy 2 ISO. Keep that thing moving around and get the easy look.
Javonte Brown gets it back in the hands of Miller Moore. 5 seconds to shoot it for Ruggsy. Makes a couple of moves. Looks for a way to the window. Puts it up. And they did not beat the clock. Ran out of time, and the Sea Bears take it back.
Getting to it. Right there, another great defensive stand for the Winnipeg Sea Bears, who aren't going out easy without a fight.
Sea Bears looking for a 3rd straight win on the road. They're 5-5 on their travels this campaign. They've got work to do. It's got to be perfect now for Winnipeg. Dave DeVero, penny for his thoughts. So close for the Surge. Comba. Superb night. Switches here, stays with McGowan's. McGowan's up and over Comba. Working for the rebound, and Joplin takes it. Cheney into the front court. Cheney behind the back. Cheney, and he has it knocked away. Now he'll put it up and can't get the bounce to go his way. At the other end, Burns, and that's easy. Dave DeVero says, okay, that's enough.
It most certainly is right there, and you're seeing 2 possessions in a row with the Calgary Surge. ISO possession. I got it. I'm going to take us over the hump. No. Keep moving that basketball, because the longer you allow Winnipeg to hang around, the closer this gets, the more things become unraveled.
I know that Mr. Elam did this to add entertainment, but boy, the angst that he has added to coaches and fans with this creation we call target score time. I'm telling you what, once again, we're getting a real example of how this thing makes people think differently. It just confuses everything that you think is right.
It's true. It changes the complete outlook of the game. When the clock is gone, after playing, 3.5 quarters of regular basketball, and now it comes down to points only, it's easy. It's like, look, I'm taking it. There's no clock, baby. Clear out of the way. It's one finger up, ISO basketball, and I get that. That makes perfect sense. We're humans. That's what humans want to do, is make something happen, but you cannot forget what got you there in the first place. Moving the basketball. It's time to close it out.
We talk about how the thinking gets a little off in these key moments. Well, the shooting numbers are showing that. Calgary 8 of 26 in the quarter, Winnipeg 7 of 21. If the coaches could simply say to the guys, hey, put the ball in the basket, they probably would right now, because that's the only thing that might hit home. But it's all about the team and the process to get to that stage. And we are just seeing fascinating drama unfold here.
And we are. Things have been tightly contested. And I tell you what, as a coaching staff, these are the moments you live for. Dave DeVero, Moose Haymore, Kenny Otieno, and of course, Matt Bailey. These are the situations that they live for. So let's see what they've cooked up here for the guys to take it home.
Out of the timeout, time to wrap it up for the Surge. Cheney, Comba holding on, having a look. Comba has it go off a foot. Was it his foot? No. It's a Winnipeg sneaker that knocked it out. And it'll stay with Calgary. Dave DeVero imploring his team to run the offense.
That's right.
Play the system. Not a time to freelance. Here's Cheney getting it in. Miller Moore working against Osborne. Miller Moore on the baseline. Miller Moore, contact, up, can't score. Javonte Moore! And once and for all, the Surge find a way to put the Sea Bears away. It wasn't easy, but they got it done. It's 4 in a row for Calgary, and they are coming off the mat. They're back in the fight in this CEBL playoff race.
Woo! Exhale! Now, Winsport Arena and Calgary Surge fans everywhere, you can exhale. And it was so fitting that Javonte Brown sewed this win up with a second chance opportunity off of a miss. This is why you don't give up on the offensive side. Javonte Brown, great positioning. Give me that. Let me deposit it, and let's finally get out of here. Oh, my goodness. Drama ensues. What a ball game here tonight.
3 Sea Bears there, and Javonte Brown finds a way to get to the basketball and put this one to bed with his first target score time winner of the season. And yes, Calgary now up to 5 and 13, just 2 wins behind both Saskatoon and Edmonton. Edmonton with a big game tomorrow against Niagara. Saskatoon coming in here on Sunday afternoon, and oh, how the stage is set for that matchup. And once again, you talked about defense being the impetus for Calgary. 85 points against. One more time.
Lock it up. Lock it up right there. It's almost as if you play some great defense. You're able to make things happen offensively. And you see Ruggsy rallying the guys right now, talking that talk, letting the guys know, look, we didn't make it easy on ourselves. And it definitely wasn't pretty, but we got the job done. That's what matters most, man, as we turn this thing around, as we beat the #1 team in the West again.
And if you're Dave DeViro and that staff, you love to see the players take ownership. Speaking of players, time for the Player of the Game interview brought to you by Booster Juice. Here's Cammy.
Ruggsy, 4 straight wins against the top 2 teams in the Western Conference. How does it feel?
It feels good, of course. We got to go on a winning streak to, make it. We got to go on a winning streak to make it possible to get a run to the playoffs. So, I'm just proud of the team, proud of how we come together and winning games.
You mentioned it. There's a lot of work that still needs to happen if you want to make the playoffs. But where you look at where this was even a month ago, how does it feel to have pulled yourselves up to this point?
We always had it. No matter who was here at the time, we always had it in us. It's just a lot of changes, a lot of things to adjust to, and I'm glad. I said it earlier. We're going to be playing our best basketball towards the end of the season, and here we are. So.
Target time was interesting, but it is also a 4th straight game where you hold your opponents to 85 points or less. How have you guys locked in on the defensive side of the game?
I got to give credit to our coach, Coach Dave. Whether you like it or not, he gets us to play hard. So that's what we need, and yeah, it's been good for us.
Tonight you moved into 2nd in all-time CEBL score. I don't know if you knew that, but how do you reflect how much you've grown as a player and as a person in Calgary?
It's great. Calgary embraced me since day one, and it's a testament to my work. I work hard every day, and I put hours into the game. So I'm just glad it's showing through accolades.
Thanks for this, Ruggsy.
Yeah, surgeon and purging. We're purging now.
Haven't heard that one for a while. Ruggsy Miller-Moore after a massive performance. Mitch and Jermaine are ready to wrap it up after the break. You're watching CEBL basketball on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Back at Winsport Events Center in Calgary, Mitch Peacock with Jermaine Cummings and Cammy Kepke. It is a 4th consecutive win for the Calgary Surge. They improved to 5-13, and they improved their slim hopes of a playoff spot right along with it. They win 93-85 against the Winnipeg CEBL, who are in a fight for top spot in the conference and who put up a really good fight here tonight.
Getting it done against the best in the West are the Calgary Surge, Mitch. And you love the result for them in the target score time. Yeah, it didn't go the way they wanted. We didn't get out of here as early as we thought we would have at the beginning of target score time, but the ability to calm yourself after timeouts, run the offense, as Coach Dave DeViro says, and come through on the end, it's got to feel great.
And the Surge with another strong defensive performance, just 85 points allowed once again. That's been the norm for the team over the last 4 or 5 games, and we heard Bugsy Miller-Moore say it when he talked to Cami Kepke on the other side of that previous break. We don't always like it, but it makes a big difference for this team.
Yeah, it sounds like someone talking for some personal experience right there. You're going to hear it from Dave DeViro, man. He's going to bring it to your front door almost literally and let you know what you have got to do to improve. It's up to you as a player to take that information and turn it into on-court performance, and Bugsy Miller-Moore, the shining star of just that.
He is, and he's got lots of company with that. This is a tight-knit group. They're excited about what they've been able to do in recent weeks, and they are looking forward to the next contest here. Speaking of looking ahead to the next contests and other games coming up in the CEBL, let's do that now and talk about the fact that Edmonton and Niagara are locking horns tomorrow, 3:30 Eastern Time. That's a national game on CBC. Matchup of the only teams to win back-to-back championships in the CEBL. Should be a good one. And then it's Ottawa and the Shooting Stars, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, potential first-round playoff matchup. First game of a home-and-home between the two teams, and you can catch that one on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. Lots to look forward to tomorrow. Great night tonight in Calgary. The Surge find a way to make it 4 straight wins, find a way to make it back-to-back wins against Winnipeg. For our entire crew, this is Mitch Peacock saying thanks for joining us, and so long till next time.